The average American spends at minimum $7,000 per year on just food. Hi guys, welcome. If you're new, my name is Lydia, and on this channel we talk all things money, investing, and entrepreneurship. Now if you do want to see more videos from me, just go ahead and subscribe. Turn your notification bell on so you won't miss a single upload. Now the three largest expenses we have are, of course, transportation for number one. With transportation, you have to pay your car note, gas, tolls, maintenance, and also with housing, you definitely have to pay your mortgage or your rent, right? Now the third largest expense is, of course, food. The average American spends at minimum $7,000 per year on just food. Now for me, that's a lot of money. I don't know about you, but it's definitely a lot of money for just food. So in today's video, I'm basically going to show you how I spend between 30 to 40 bucks on food, and these steps you can definitely implement them at home so you can save a lot of money on groceries. Now with that said, I want you to comment below and let me know, like, approximately how much per week do you spend on groceries. Now the first tip is to avoid expensive grocery stores such as Publix or Whole Foods. Those grocery stores, like, girl, you need to pack your bag and run away from them because they mark up their price ridiculously. If you go to Walmart or Aldi's, their price is so much more affordable. So that's the first step you need to take. If you're looking for, like, let's say organic food, I would definitely recommend Costco because their options as it relates to organic food is so much more affordable. To be honest, like, buying organic is good, but not every time it's worth it. And I'm gonna tell you why. Have you heard of the Dirty Dozen? Well, if you have not, I'll definitely put a link in the description box below. The Dirty Dozen basically just suggests the food that is worth purchasing organic, all right? So if it's not on that list, it's definitely not worth purchasing organic. Now the 12 crops on the Dirty Dozen list, they basically feature the highest amount of pesticide residue, and that's why the food on this list is actually worth purchasing organic. So fruits and vegetables like broccoli and mangoes and pineapples, those do not need to be purchased organic because they're not on this list. Now the second tip is to actually download the grocery store app that you're planning to shop. Let's say Walmart, right? Download the Walmart app and check to see what type of deals do they have, what type of sales, so you can make yourself aware of this before you actually visit the grocery store. Like, what type of coupon is available. Always check for coupons, whether you see that in the newspaper being sent to your home. Use these coupons in order to reduce the amount of money you're spending on groceries per month. Now what I do is I mainly drink water. Now not only is water super healthy for you, but you also want to avoid drinking your calories. Okay, you don't want to just drink your calories, and also it helps with weight loss. Let's say I consume a can of Coke for lunch and maybe dinner, right? That right there is almost over 300 calories. Now it takes 3,500 calories in order to gain a pound. And to me, 300 calories and 3,500 is not so far when you think of doing that every single day. Now the fourth tip on how you can save money on groceries is to mainly go with staple or base items. Maybe you can pick up a huge bag of rice for dinner. Also, you can pick up staple or base items such as pancakes. So whatever you're making for breakfast is usually egg and pancakes. You can do that for a while, for a few days, and that will help you to save a ton of money. Now, instead of making rice and chicken today, and then tomorrow it's spaghetti and beef, and then the next day it's something completely different, I would highly recommend sticking to that one base item for that week, and then you could switch up your meat and your veggies. That will help you tremendously in cutting or reducing the cost on groceries. Now, the fifth tip on how you can save money on groceries is to basically avoid pre-packaged produce. And what I mean by this is, have you ever been to the grocery store and you see like apples and pineapples already chopped up for you and in a little container? You want to stay away from that. And here's why. When you stay away from that, you're avoiding the additional chemicals that they're using for preservatives. Like, think about it. They have apples that are already sliced in the refrigerator, but it's not changing its color. Have you ever wondered why? Chemicals, preservatives, right? You're paying extra money for consuming chemicals and additional preservatives that are not good for your body, and you're also paying a larger amount of money for things that has chemicals on it. Another tip on how you can save money on groceries is to basically purchase frozen fruit. So let's say, for example, you're big on smoothies. You enjoy having a nice smoothie first thing in the morning. Now, instead of purchasing those fresh from the produce section, I would definitely recommend purchasing it from the frozen section. And by doing that, you can save a ton of money. Another tip on how you can save money on groceries is to avoid the name brands. Like, I've seen, for example, mayo, right? Let's say mayo. I've seen the 365 brand of mayo super cheaper than Hellmann's mayo. So skip the name brand and just stick to the more generic brand in order to save a lot of money on your groceries. Like, why worry about spending money on just a pretty label? Like, you're literally paying extra for the company's advertisement, all right? That's why they're this big brand. So stick to the more generic items, because if you check the ingredients, it's literally the same. Now, if you go to Walmart, for example, instead of picking up the big brands, for example, let's say Kraft mac and cheese, pick up the Great Value mac and cheese. It's the same thing. Now, the 8th way to save money on groceries that will literally get you to spend $40 maximum every week is to basically focus on picking up the items from the back of the shelf. And why I say this is because a lot of times these grocery stores, they put the older items at the front in order to get people to purchase them. Sometimes when you look at the dates, they'll be expired in literally like less than a week. So you do want to make sure that you pick up the items from the back in order to have a longer lifespan of that item, of that maybe the fruit or the vegetable. Now, if you have a longer lifespan of that fruit or vegetable or whatever it is, you will be able to have that food item for a longer time, and you'll avoid wasting money and having to replace that item because it has expired. Now, I do this a lot, especially with milk. I go to the grocery store a lot and I see that they put the milk that's about to expire at the front in order to get it out, and I'm like, nah, bro, you're not gonna trick me like that. Like, if y'all saw me buying groceries at the grocery store, you would probably laugh. Like, I'm just there digging and digging, trying to get to the very back of the refrigerator in order to get the milk with the furthest date or expiration date. It's just crazy. Now, the 9th tip on how you can spend $40 or less per week on groceries is to actually meal prep. So what you can do is to plan your meals before you even think about grocery shopping. Plan the meals that you're about to eat for that week, and that way you can kind of have an estimate as to how much your grocery will add up to. And you just got to plan to eat that meal for a few days. Now, the 10th tip on how you can save on groceries is to not just grab what you see at eye level in the grocery store. Now, what people at grocery stores do is that they place items at eye level that are more expensive and that they really want to sell. It's just a psychological trick that they use to get out what they want to get out there. Now, let's say you go to the grocery store for some eggs. Try not to focus on the egg that's at eye level. You really got to look up and down that shelf, because the one at the bottom is cheaper. The next time you visit the grocery store, I want you to really take that into consideration. I want you to actually look out for these things. Go to the grocery store and see if the milk at the bottom is not cheaper. See if the egg at the bottom isn't cheaper, because trust me, it is. The one at eye level is more expensive. So you do need to keep that in mind when you are going grocery shopping. Now, the final tip is that you need to look out for food that has maybe a label or that's on sale, maybe has a little yellow sticker, because usually what they do is that they drastically reduce the cost of this food item because it's almost about to expire. Let's say you decide to pick up a slice of cake, right? And the expiration date on that cake is less than a week. Okay, they'll usually reduce the cost of that slice of cake because it's about to expire. Now, let me know in the comments below what was your favorite tip out of these 11 tips that I shared with you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn your notification bell on so you won't miss a single video from me. I'll see you next time.